Presidents Barack Obama and his Republican challenger Mitt Romney have held the first of their 3 presidential election debates in the swing state of Colorado. The focus this time was on domestic issues, and the economy dominated the agenda. Both men highlighted the differences in their tax policies and plans for deficit reduction.
With a month to go before the election, the US president has met his main rival in a head-to-head debate on live television. Barack Obama and Mitt Romney clashed over taxes, healthcare and the economy at the University of Colorado in Denver.
The 90-minute debate took place in Denver, Colorado, one of a few battleground states that could decide the election. The candidates concentrated on how to revive the economy. Romney kept attacking Obama and ignoring the moderator's instructions. Obama sometimes had trouble getting a word in. Many U.S. media analysts say Romney had a better performance. The candidates will face off in 2 more debates. They've got just 5 weeks to win over undecided voters.
Years ago, I became the luckiest man on earth because Michelle Obama agreed to marry me.
Congratulations to you, Mr. President, on your anniversary. I'm sure this was the most romantic place you could imagine. Here with me.
There will be 6 roughly 15-minute segments with 2-minute answers.
Romney's proposal calls for a $5 trillion tax cut.
What is the difference? Let's just stay on taxes.
Right.
Yeah, just
virtually everything he just said about my tax plan is inaccurate.
All right,
so if the tax plan he described were a tax plan I was asked to support, I'd say absolutely not.
We're way over our first 15 minutes.
It's fun, isn't it?
It's okay, it's great.
I will eliminate all programs by this test if they don't pass it. Is the program so critical it's worth borrowing money from China to pay for it? I'm sorry, Jim. I'm going to stop the subsidy to PBS. I'm going to stop other things. I like PBS. I love Big Bird. I actually like you, too.
Now let's move to health care. Governor Romney, you want the Affordable Care Act repealed. Why?
I sure do. It has killed jobs.
The fact of the matter is, we use the same advisors, and they say it's the same plan. When Obamacare is fully implemented, we're going to be in a position to show that costs are going down.
We need to have leadership in Washington that will actually bring people together and get the job done, and could not care less if it's a Republican or a Democrat. I've done it before. I'll do it again.
Part of leadership and governing is both saying what it is that you are for, but also being willing to say no to some things. And I've got to tell you, Governor Romney, when it comes to his own party during the course of this campaign, has not displayed that willingness to say no to some of the more extreme parts of his party.
This is an important election, and I'm concerned about America. I'm concerned about the direction America has been taking over the last 4 years. I know this is bigger than an election about the 2 of us as individuals. It's bigger than our respective parties. It's an election about the course of America. What kind of America do you want to have for yourself and for your children?
4 years ago, I said that I'm not a perfect man and I wouldn't be a perfect president. And that's probably a promise that Governor Romney thinks I've kept. But I also promised that I'd fight every single day on behalf of the American people, the middle class, and all those who are striving to get in the middle class. I've kept that promise, and if you'll vote for me, then I promise I'll fight just as hard in the second term.
Immediately after the 90-minute encounter in Denver, CNN and the Opinion Research Corporation conducted a poll, and what we found is that a really enormous majority of voters who saw the poll, these are likely voters who actually saw the poll, 2/3 of them thought that Mitt Romney had won. Barack Obama, well, he got the support of 25%. While we're looking at this number, just want to let you know, our survey looked for people who'd actually seen the debate. It found slightly more Republicans than Democrats, so that number may be skewed a little bit, but not by much. That's a very convincing number. But when you look at the other polls, did Mitt Romney do better or worse than you expected? You see a really dramatic number. Mitt Romney did better according to 82% of the people who are watching. Even Democrats, that means, were impressed by what they saw. And a bit of background to this. So many Americans have gotten used to Barack Obama's soaring rhetoric that they weren't expecting Mitt Romney to do this well. That's the result. 82% say better than expected. Well, what about Obama's soaring rhetoric? Well, another poll question, did Obama do better or worse than you expected? Look at this. Only 21% were impressed by him in a way they didn't expect to be. 61 thought this is not the Barack Obama that they were expecting.
In the hall behind me, President Barack Obama's surrogates are trying to spin this, what seemed like a lackluster performance. They're actually telling people this is just the first debate. There are more. The president's going to try and take his message directly to the American public, again hitting the campaign trail. First, he'll begin in Denver. Then he's headed off to Madison, Wisconsin, a state that looked like it could be in play as Governor Mitt Romney picked a congressman from Wisconsin. But the president is ahead in the polls. He's going to do what he's been doing, go to a college campus there. Then he's going to head home for the night. The following day, we expect to see him in Virginia, another key state. Because remember, the national polls don't really matter in this election. There's just a handful of states who will decide who will be the next president of the United States.